Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shino. I'm your gaming and anime ninja, and welcome to Ask Shino. This is going to be a Monday thing that I drop on Mondays. We're just kind of recording this one on like a Tuesday or Wednesday, and it's going up as soon as it's done because I'm behind. But from now on, I'm going to do my best to record these Sundays, get these up on Mondays, and essentially what it is just kind of a way for the people in the community to kind of reach out to me, ask me a couple of questions, get to know me a little bit better. Doesn't necessarily have to be about streaming. Really, it's kind of just an open forum. Whatever you guys want to ask me, I'll pick two or three, maybe four, depending on time. I want to try to keep this between 15 and 25 minutes. Um, but basically, it's just going to be something I go through. I pick a couple questions. Whether you tweet them at me and just use the hashtag AskShino, or if you post them in the AskShino section of the Discord. And yeah, I will respond to your questions there. So without further ado, I'm just gonna get into it. I got four today. These are gonna be relatively quick, and then we're just gonna get going from there, or at least we'll see. Like I said, anyway, let's just go. First up, from Deathly Valhalla, we have: do you prefer Bazu, or Shino? He didn't say for sure, but I'm assuming he was wondering like what I prefer as like a nickname. Personally, I just go for by Shino. I've pretty much always gone by it. It's super easy for people to remember. It rolls off the tongue. Generally, with nicknames, you want to stick between one or two syllables. Boz, I've just never really been a fan of. Some people have called me like Mr. Bazu and kind of use Bazu as like the last name, if you will. But generally, people just call me Shino for sure. That's a short one. I know, it's crazy. Next one. I think this is like a real question. I feel like his first question was kind of more just kind of like a random get this out here, but this one's also from Deathly Valhalla or Death Valhalla. What progression in your streaming and personal life do you want to make in the next 3 years? Personally, I generally look at things. I look generally like a year in advance. Look like a year in advance, 5 years in advance, and 10 years in advance. Is generally how I look at things. So your 3 years is kind of in the middle of the year and 3 years, or I guess 3 to 2 years. I've been doing 2 years right now just because I'm at the like midsection. But anyway, personally, if I had to say for the next year, my next year is just focusing on me. Realistically, I am doing a lot with other people, but my next year is literally just for kind of like personal progression. I spent a lot of my last year streaming just focusing on what I got partnered, and then my focus aside was, I'm partnered. What now? Like, what do I want? What type of streamer do I want to be? What type of content creator do I want to be? With everything going on currently in current society and current, streamer culture and online culture, what type of content creator do I want to be? What type of content do I want to put out there? And what do I want the content that I put out there to say about me? And I spent a really long time thinking about that. So what I've decided is over the next year, personally, it's just focused on growing my channel, like growing myself as a content creator, putting myself out there in more ways, in a lot of more ways. Personally, what I like to be is I'd like to be at a healthy sub count, but like a healthy full time sub count of somewhere between 1 and 2K subs. So that's kind of my goal for the end of this year is to be averaging somewhere between there. 1,000 subs, 1,000 subs a month is about 30 grand a year, which is pretty much the average for a single black male in America. I'm gonna be shooting for a little bit higher than that, but obviously that's kind of where I want to be at, so that I'm making 30 grand a year, just so that I can have enough money to afford to have my own place with good internet and afford to buy equipment. As long as I live well below my means, I kind of budget myself at being able to live between like 15 and 20,000. So if I'm making 30,000, obviously I've got to pay like good portion of that the taxes, but I'm able that affords me a good 4,000 to travel, so like 1,000, so I can go to four major events a year, and it affords me $4,000 a year to upgrade my streaming equipment as well. So like if I need a new computer, new camera, whatever, over the course of the year, I have 4,000 put aside to upgrade my stream, and then I have another 2,000 put aside to help with like video editing and things like that. So my goal is to live way below my means, so stay between 15 and 20,000 in terms of living expenses, so that I have money put aside to upgrade my stream, so that I have money put aside to travel, so I can travel to events, and that's kind of like the 1 year stance. As for 3 years, Um, One of the original reasons I got into streaming is I like playing video games, I like watching anime, and I like kind of just goofing off and having a good time with my friends and even people I considered family. However, over the course when I was, getting older, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, I realized that, I was getting older and things, were getting real. Like, I had to pay bills, I got a car, but I had to pay for the car. I got a phone, but I had to start paying for the phone. I started having more things, so I was able to do more, but those things also costed more of me. So I had to get a job to pay for the things. My dad wasn't giving me allowance anymore to get pizza for Pizza Friday anymore and things like that. But I still wanted to continue to do those things. Like Pizza Friday was something that was really important to me. And so originally when I got into this, the idea wasn't even just as like a get rich quick thing for me, but it was a way for me to monetize me doing the things I already enjoyed doing. I enjoyed literally I would meet up with friends every Friday and we would meet up and we'd watch, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours of anime and you were all eating pizza and like, watching random meat YouTube videos and memes and whatnot, right? We'd spend 6 hours doing that once a week for years. Literally, I did that every week since eighth grade. And then we spent the rest of the week meeting up and just playing video games during the week when we were done with schoolwork. I watched Markiplier, I watched PewDiePie, even before Markiplier, even before PewDiePie. I watched Total Biscuit, I watched Swoozy, I watched a lot of these people essentially do the things that I already did, but they just, film themselves and find a way to monetize it. And so my goal was essentially to emulate that, but not just for me. I wanted to emulate that for my friends because I wanted to not only just continue to do those things, but to continue to do those things with the people that I enjoy doing them with. So the big thing for me now is basically setting up for just that in the next 3 years. And the next year, I want to get myself to a point where I'm making a livable wage. The next year after that, I want to put myself where I'm well above and beyond a livable wage while still staying at that livable wage level. I want to be at the point where, like, I'm Destiny, Trainwrecks. In 2 years, I want to be at like 2 to 4K subs, somewhere in between there, if not more. And while I'm sitting at that 4K sub count, which is, just shy, if not about 100 grand a year, still be living at that 25 grand a year level, maybe bump it up to 30 grand a year, and then use that extra 70 grand to start bringing some of my friends who are maybe kind of on the, maybe some in the inner sphere, but even some on the outer sphere of the Twitch community, and bring them into this and then kind of teach them like how to be a Twitch streamer. And honestly, the ultimate goal is to help my friends become content creators so that we can go back to essentially doing what we did as kids, just playing video games, talking about anime, talking about the news. Obviously, maybe tackling some more mature topics as well, because some of us have grown up, some of us have kids, things like that. But basically, just continue to grow content and hang out and live our lives, but to provide value to other people while doing that. And basically, once I've figured out how to monetize that for myself, find a way to teach them how to monetize it and then just to continue to live life from there. But I guess my goal for 1 year is to be able to have enough money to live on my own. My goal in 2 years from now is to be at a surplus where I have more than what I need to live on my own. And my goal in 3 years from now would be to bring in my close friends and family and bring them into what I do so that we can go back to doing what we used to do when we were younger that we enjoyed doing, but finding a way to monetize that as well as help other people and actually add value to the world in that way. Like add value to the world by sharing our story, if you will. But that's kind of my plan for the next 3 years and where I want my stream to be and my personal life to be in 3 years. As for girlfriend, I'm still single, working on that. Uh, yeah. You ever like have one of those situations where you're single but you're like not single at the same time? Like you're talking to people. Kind of where I am right now. Nothing official's going on, but we're not putting any titles on it. We're just kind of talking and letting kind of what happens. Yeah. Love, right? There's a reason why I was single for like 10 years. Not 10 years. How long have I been single? The last time I dated before this, I even really tried dating, was like 2012. So, like a good 7 years. Been single for a while because not being single is confusing and expensive. Next question. Why do you stream in the middle of the night and always end in the morning? This is something I actually get a lot on stream. A lot of people ask me, even my regulars still ask me, and a lot of people, even like other streamers, ask me, why do you stream in the middle of the night? Two reasons for this mostly. One, I like streaming in the night because it allows me to do things during the day. So like I can wake up and go out during the day. I can go out to eat, go out to work, go out and take care of business during the day, and I'm not expected to be live. So that's a benefit of that. Two, I've always been kind of a night owl. Ever since I was young, I used to pull all nighters all the time, and during summertime, I've always been super nocturnal. Another part of that though is I live in Las Vegas. For those of you guys who don't know, Las Vegas is a much different city than pretty much anywhere else in the world. A lot of things don't even start in Vegas till about 10 p.m. And like your average major Vegas parties don't end until like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So where I'm from, a lot of people aren't getting up until like maybe 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. That's not out of the normal to not be waking up until 5 o'clock. You wake up at 5, you get ready, you're ready by 7. You go out to eat from like 8 to 10, and then from 10 o'clock on, you're partying or doing whatever event or whatever's going on. Like that's an extremely common thing here in Vegas. So it just kind of fit my natural lifeline. But then on top of that, the flip side of it is during the growth of my streaming career, I used to stream just all day as much as I could. I just enjoyed streaming. If I didn't work, I would wake up, eat breakfast, get dressed, and start streaming and just keep going. But what I noticed as I streamed is the longer I went, the better I did. And at first, I assumed that it just meant that if I did a really long stream, I would do really well. But sometimes that was true, but other times that wasn't true. And the other thing I started noticing was just the later my stream was, regardless whether it was because other people were getting offline or if just the people who were more late night people just resonated with me or found me first, or maybe it was just because it was easier for them to find me because there was less people online and there was less competition. Whatever, that situation, however that situation played out, I just realized that the later I streamed, the more people I got and the better my stream did. And so I started playing with it. I used to start my streams at 7. Then I started starting my streams at 8. Then I started starting my streams at 9. Then I started starting my streams at 10. Then I started at like 11. Then I started at midnight. And I realized I wasn't doing as well. So then I pushed it back at 11. And then 11, 10:30, 10, 11 just ended up being kind of the sweet spot for me where like if I started at 10, my stream would hit its like average by midnight, and I'd hit my prime by like 2, 3 o'clock. And depending on how the stream went, I'd either start to wind down around 5, 6, or I would take off and hit like my super high amount at 5 or 6. But like generally, I'd hit my high somewhere between 3, 4, 5, and then 5 would be where I'd wind down. So the reason why I stream in the middle of the night was just because that's just when my stream did its best, and I was at the time really trying hard to go for partner, and it just kind of became a habit. So that's kind of when I stream. I have tried streaming during the day. I've done 2 a days before. I don't hate those, but I don't love them either. I think mentally for me, it was really hard dealing with like having like less interaction or lower viewership. But it wasn't it wasn't terrible, but it did take its toll. I wouldn't say it hurt me or bugged me as much as it did most streamers, but it did bug me, and it wasn't because I felt bad streaming to a low amount of people. I guess what bugged me most is it hurt because I felt like even though I was still enjoying it and the people who were there were still enjoying their time with me, I felt like I could be using that time better to make the night stream better. So it's like I could stream during the day and have that interaction and that fun and that enjoyment with the people during the day, but it would better serve me to spend that time during the day to improve the night stream than doing the day stream. That would be better for my content overall, which is why I stopped doing that. I'm still trying to work that in. I want to be able to stream during the day, but I also want my streams to do well if I'm going to be the day. I want to get to the point where my streams do well whenever I stream. But for now, I'm just kind of focusing on when my streams do their best and trying to maximize that instead of just streaming all day long, which is what I'd end up doing if I didn't have any other, option. And so there you go. And then we have one last question. I'm gonna do one more, just because we're at like 15 minutes. We're just shy of 15 minutes, and it's the first one. And I just kind of wanted. I like this question. I saw it. Also, I didn't say who asked that last question. That last question was asked by Professor Frenzy, by the way. So thank you for the last question. This question was asked by a random person on the internet. Um, that's literally their name, random internet guy. So random internet guy, listen to you. You had $5 million tomorrow. What would you like to spend the rest of your life, or how would you like to spend the rest of your life? If I had $5 million right now or tomorrow, um, I wouldn't change much. I know that sounds weird, but to be completely honest, like I'm as much as I'm doing this for a living and I'm trying to make a living doing it, I'm also not doing this for the money. Like if I had $1 million, I would still be streaming like the next day, right? I might change up how I stream, you know what I mean? Like for sure I'd probably be buying new equipment, I'd probably buy a new house. Like I'd take the what I do with the 5 million is I pay off all my credit cards and all my debt. I pay off my dad's house, I pay off my mom's house. I'd get my own house somewhere here in town that's got like gigabit internet somewhere in Vegas. I'd also probably maybe get like a get or a getaway house in Atlanta so I can go hang out with my mom, but still be able to stream and do my thing when I'm in Atlanta or when I'm in Georgia with my family out there. Um, and but immediately all I would do is like I would upgrade all my equipment. I'd buy a new mic, buy a new computer, buy a new desk, buy a new sound system. I'd buy probably the XLR. I'd get the Elgato green screen thing, and I'd just buy all the streaming equipment I could think of to upgrade my stream, which I'd probably only spend like not even 10 grand. I'm pretty sure I'd spend like between 3 and 5 grand upgrading my equipment. Maybe a bit more because I do want to. I'd probably like go super ham on a camera or something like that. But I would just upgrade all my streaming equipment to the best I could get it. I'd get my own place. I'd set up like a studio room in my new place and a stream room. So I'd have a stream room and I'd have a room for video editing. And I would literally just probably just try to bang out as many videos or content as I could. Like I would still stream the same time that I stream. I'd still probably still be streaming and playing Dead by Daylight. But when I'm not streaming, I would immediately just be video editing. Like I wouldn't be working like Postmates or anything during the day. I would just get up, start banging out different YouTube videos, watch anime, do a review of the anime episode, etc., etc., etc. I'd probably hire like 5 more video editors on Fiverr, and then just probably just go ham, like pushing out as much content as I could make in a single day, and just go to doing that like 5, 6, 7 days a week. Um, Mainly because I'm doing what I enjoy doing. Like I'm doing what I love right now. Like the stream coaching, I really enjoy doing the watching anime and talking about anime with people on stream. I really enjoy doing playing video games. I really enjoy doing. Dead by Daylight is something I still just kind of enjoy, for the most part. So I wouldn't really switch up games. I'd play new games as they came out, like Devil May Cry and things like that. But like I would, for the most part, just quadruple down on being able to push out more content. That's the only thing I'd really change. Is I would take care of myself, take care of my family. Like so, but that wouldn't even cost $1 million. Like I'd probably spend like under 500,000 for my mom and my dad, and my brother and sisters that are like the really close personal family. And then I would just trick out my gear and then just start pushing out content. And then the other 4 million would just kind of sit in a nest egg and just only come out as I need it. Maybe throw a big party. One thing I've really wanted to do is go to PAX East and PAX West and throw really big parties when I go to these places. More just to have a good time with people and like have a good time with friends. No one doesn't, not want to throw a big party. But I wouldn't like really change what I do for a living. I wouldn't quit my job. I'd probably quit Postmates, but I wouldn't quit streaming. I would just make more content. I would stream more, and I would focus on improving my stream. So that's what I would do if I won $5 million. It's just I enjoy what I'm doing. So you paying me $5 million wouldn't make me stop doing what I'm doing. It would just make me do it harder. So, um, but yeah, that's pretty much it for the day. That's today's Ask Shino. If you guys enjoyed this video, getting to know me a little bit better, and you still have more questions, feel free to check out my Twitch stream. It's twitch.tv/XX ShinoBazuXX, or you can tweet them at me. My Twitter's the same thing, at Twitter XX ShinoBazuXX. You can tweet your questions at me with the hashtag AskShino, or you can join my Discord and you can leave your questions down in the Discord below. Either way, I want to thank you guys for watching. My name is Shino Bazu, your gaming anime ninja. Catch you guys next time. All right. Deuces.